Okay, we're looking at Copart this morning. There's a couple that I've already missed the end of the auctions, but we're still looking at a couple here. Not intending to buy them, as I'm not in a position to buy any at the moment, but just thought we'd have a look and see what they're going for. So we've got this lounge done 77,000 miles, so relatively high mileage. And it's, as you can see there, it needs a new bumper. And what else? Might be something going on the... Oh, oh dear, didn't realise that. So yeah, this wouldn't be one that I would buy. If it wasn't for the dent in the quarter pillar, whatever you call that, quarter panel, I would probably a relatively easy dent to get out, I guess, but with the smashed windows, nah, that wouldn't be for me. Now, surprisingly, that's at £625. It's a 2012 62 plate. I like that side. If it wasn't for the destroyed front bumper, it would be good as a parts car. But when you've got the front destroyed, it's not quite so good. Quite high mileage anyway. Now, if that was to go for maybe 300 or 400 quid, it might be worthwhile as a parts car, but it's number, where are we? Number 178. Currently at £625, so that's not cheap enough. Not cheap enough at all. The other one I'm watching is also on today. It's a nice 2017 Abarth, which is very nice. Currently at 5,700. It's auction number 138. So this is another stolen recovered, which is very nice. Very, very nice. Hasn't got the leather seats because it's the standard 595. I'm not keen on those, but you can always change seats. Only done 12,900 miles, which is good. So it's got a hole in the floor where they've tried to remove, or have removed, the VIN number. So that would obviously have to be welded up. A plate or something welded into that. And then obviously you need to get a VIN number plate, which you can apparently get. I'm not quite sure where you get them from, whether it's from Fiat or whether it's from the DVLA, I'm not sure, but I know you can get VIN number plates that you can replace on cars that have been stolen. These ones, it seems to vary. Sometimes you'll get the, like this one, where you'll get the VIN number that's been embossed into the metalwork of the car, which is why they try and grind it out and they made a right old mess of this. Or it'd be just one of the metal plates, like are in most of them. They're obviously easy enough to replace. So you probably, if you've got a replacement, it'll probably be one of those, and you'd have to make that look as good as you could. But I mean, who's going to know? Apart from that, it's pretty good. I don't think there's any damage to it at all. So it's quite expensive. So it's 5,700. It's on approval. They say it's worth 10.8, which is probably about right. I say maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit adventurous. It's only got the one key. Is this the one? There was one that had Beats Hi-Fi. No, I don't think that's this one. That must have been a different one. I must have missed that auction. So they're the only two I'm watching at the minute. However, I'm sure there are more. If we go into dashboard, Fiat 500, see what comes up. 48 entries, so it's going up a little bit more now. So what ones we got on today? New listings, let's have a look. No, actually, let's look at all of them. 22nd, so there's some coming up that one's coming up tomorrow. I quite liked the look of this one. I think this was one I was looking at before. Oh no. No, it wasn't. I don't think I'll be buying that one somehow. It was the same colour as this, but I think it's probably already sold a day or so ago. So, you know, ones that I would be looking at. Not an awful lot there at the moment, to be honest. See, this one is quite expensive. It's 2015, but it's already at £1,400. So yeah, no, that's too much. They seem to be going for a lot of money at the moment, whether that's because there's a few of them around. This one's here, it's pop here. It's not up for another few days, but it's 99,000 miles, black. Yeah, 6 days time. So it's minor dents and scratches. So there's going to be something wrong with this. Without looking, I bet this. I wouldn't be surprised if this was an automatic and there's a problem with the gearbox. Oh, it's a convert. Is it a convertible? Yeah, it's convertible. No, it's not. It's a manual. So it says minor dents and scratches. There's going to be something wrong with it. Well, apart from the fact it's done 100,000 miles. But you know, if it works, if it goes okay, then it's a dirt cheap car if someone can get it. Dashboard warning light illuminated. So what? The exhaust system is blowing. Oh well, new exhaust. 2 keys. Number of keepers 5. It's quite a lot of keepers. And you've got the V5 as well, which is always good. So that possibly, apart from the fact it's too far away from me, but that would possibly be a good buy for someone. You could make a, even though it's done 100,000 miles, it could be a, depending on how much it goes for, it could be a really good car. It's on minimum bid, so you know you might end up having to negotiate if it doesn't go high enough. And of course, it all depends on whether the roof works or not. If the roof don't work, forget about it. And there's no pictures here that show the roof working, which is a bit worrying. So I would be a bit suspicious about that one, especially if you buy the cars off of the photographs. Another pop there. The pops seem to go for quite a lot less money generally, and I've found them easy to sell. 2012 one there, started bidding at 2,250. What's that all about? It's done 55,000 miles. I mean, that's way too much. That's crazy money. I don't understand that. There's quite a few on there actually. There's not any particularly local to me. If I was in the position to buy, I'd be looking at a lot more detail. We got this one here. Again, too far away from me. Oh no, actually I do get them from Westbury sometimes. It's a bit of a trot, but let's see, what's the matter with this one then? Rear end, let's see. Oh, there's not much wrong with that, is there? It's got the lights missing. So this is a little bit like my £300. Oh, it's got a dent in the hatch as well, which is not. You can get to pick up a new hatch for 40 or 50 quid, or you could repair it. Broken door handle, which again, you know, is nothing. Got key. So that would be a car that I would buy, definitely. Bumper looks okay. Even if it's not, you can pick up a white bumper for, again, 40 or 50 quid. Not much wrong with that at all. So yeah, if that was closer and I was in a position to buy a car, I would definitely be having a bid on that. In fact, I'm going to add that to my watch list, just out of interest to see what it goes for. So I'm going to add that to my watch list. Saw that grey one up there. What's this grey one in Sandtoft? Oh, water or flood damage. Now that, depending on what the flood damage is, that would be a good breaker. It's only a pop. Does it run and start? Doesn't start and drive, so there's no mention of that. So you can assume it's got into the engine. Let's have a look. Oh dear. Yes, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I wonder what's happened to that. Well, I can see what's happened to it. Water's got in it, but why, I wonder. It's all got all that carpet, that whole interior's got to get ripped out. Whether we don't know whether there's any. Oh yeah, look, the water's gone up to the engine as well. So if that engine was running when the water got into it, that'll be dead. It's got power. You can see there it's got power. But yeah, that'd have to be a very cheap car to be worth getting. Unless you happen to have a car that you were repairing in that colour, in which case you could take the panels off, which will be okay. So again, there's a really expensive pop here. 56,000 miles. It is 2014, but 1,500 quid already. And it's not even, oh, it's on now. It's too much. What else? There's not a massive amount on here at the moment, to be honest. 35,000 miles, it's a bit of a mess, but again, you know, not too bad. depending on how much it goes for. It's easy enough to fix that, whatever's wrong down there. New wing, new bumper, front panel, windscreen. Can't see whether the bags are gone, probably. And actually it doesn't look like they have. It's very dirty. That looks alright on the inside actually. No airbags gone. So that wouldn't be. I don't like buying the cars where you've got to replace all this down here. You know, it could be just the bottom arm, it could be the suspension arm, it could be the what do you call it, the steering rack, and it also could be the drive shaft. I've had them before with less of an angle than that I've had to replace umpteen bits, and of course until you get it you don't really know. So I'd probably avoid that one, but that's just me. Did I look at this one in Wolverhampton? 61 plate, 59,000 miles, engine start program, so that means the engine starts but possibly doesn't run and drive for some reason. Now that's alright, look, new bumper, new wing, no suspension damage or anything by the looks of things. Clean all over apart from that. What's that down there? It's like someone's lunchbox. No damage there. Yeah, that looks good. So new bumper, new wing. Put a bit of a light wiring problem there, but maybe a cover, wheel arch cover as well. But not much wrong with that. So that would definitely be one that I would, if it wasn't in Wolverhampton, that would be one that I'll be having a bid on. But you know, they seem to be going for big money at the moment, so who knows? Let's have a look at this one. Oh no, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Yeah, you need to zoom in on these as well. Zoom in on these chassis legs. That one looks as if it's bent over to me, so I wouldn't touch that. And you can see the inner wing is bent over as well, so no, I definitely wouldn't touch that. I have replaced the inner wings before, but it is a pain, drilling all out the welds and what have you. So no, with the chassis leg bent as well. No, I definitely wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. Not as a repair car anyway. Possibly as a parts car, but I do prefer to get rear damaged ones, because obviously everything off the front is good and can be reused, but the back I'm not too bothered about. So yeah, that's it today anyway. So I'd say I'm not bidding on any of those, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that goes for. I might watch it depending on when it's on. What number is it? 138. Let's log in and see where we are now, because it's 5 to 1, so it's been going a little while, almost an hour. Let's have a look. I'm 55, so it's got a long way to go now. If I can see it, if I get the time later, I'll come back and have a look and see what sort of money that went for. So yeah, so just to say, I just thought I'd show you that. Just caught this as it started, so it's 6,000 at the moment. 6,100.
Bonus time.
This is on approval, so obviously we don't know whether it's going to sell or not. 6,100. You can add a few £100 to that.
Bonus time.
For fees, probably £500 or £600 at least. Looks like this is what it's going to go for.
Sold on approval.
Yep, 6,100. That's good. Whether it, we'll see whether it comes back or not as to whether that was enough. Right, here we are again, another day in the car this time. So it's currently 25 degrees plus. Not quite sure what the temperature is, but it's a blisteringly hot day. I've had the doors and windows open for about 20 minutes just to try and cool it down a little bit here. Earth lead is disconnected. I'm going to redo the shear bolts and the ignition wiring. So obviously I'm not going to film it all, as you've seen it all before, but I'm going to take the steering wheel off, get the clock spring off again, basically what I've already done. I'm going to do it all again, but I'm going to do it right. I took on board what your comments were, and decided that you know, the shear bolts, I could leave the shear bolts from a security point of view. If someone's going to steal the car and they want to get the ignition off, you know, the fact that they've got a crosshead in it to allow them to get a screwdriver on it rather than just yanking the thing off, it isn't really any odds. But you know, they were £3.65 or something each, the new shear bolts, so I thought, why not, let's do it properly. So let's get the steering wheel off anyway. So there we go, just to show you, I've taken it all apart. So steering wheel's off, obviously, clock springs off, airbags off. I've disconnected the cables. First thing I'm going to do is take out the old ones that I put back in. I'm going to keep those for future reference, because if I ever get a car that I haven't got any, even if it's only for a temporary measure, I think they're worth keeping, just for emergency purposes. So I'm going to get a screwdriver, take those out, and then we'll put the new ones in. Okay, so I've done the bolts. There's the new ones on, as you can see. They're sheared off. I was going to film it before I sheared it off, but my phone got so hot in the car, I had to put it in the fridge to cool down. So the first cable, if you can see it, I'm not sure, it's too bright, I think. So I've taken the old one off, the old solder joint off. I've stripped back more of the insulation, and then I've loosened the twines, twined them all together, twisted them all together, and then slid that new one back over. I'm going to have to use my flame thing again, because I can't find my heat gun. So I'm just going to be a bit more gentle with it. But I say, I'm not going to show you all of this because we've done all this before, so rest assured it's all going to be done properly, and it's never going to go anywhere. It's going to be as good as new. So we'll be back once it's all done. There you go, that one's done, redone, all retaped up. That one's had the new all taken out, all the wires all twined together, entwined together I should say. Re-put these on, just waiting for that last one to cool down a bit, and then I'll wrap those all up in tape. Insulating tape first, and then the teaser tape, the fabric tape, and then we'll put it all back together again. All done. Just taking it around the block, make sure it's all okay, which it is. So that's that job redone correctly. So that's my job for today. That's all I've done on it today. It's too hot to be working on cars, and I haven't got that much to do anyway. It's only really paintwork now on that back bumper. That's about all I've got left to do on it. Also, I have managed to find a new Blue and Me module for, let's turn this thing round so they can actually see me. So yeah, I actually found a Blue and Me module on eBay. It was up for £45 plus £4.50 or whatever it was postage, or best offer. Now £45 is cheap anyway, but I thought I'll have a cheeky bid. Actually, it might have been £50. I'll have a cheeky bid, and I put a offer price of £40, and they accepted it. It hasn't come yet. That was over a week ago. It's been posted, but the post at the moment, the post at the moment, as you know, is a bit of a nightmare with COVID and that. So it hasn't come yet. So I've got the new stereo that I was banging on about the other day. But I've decided not to use it in this car, providing that the Blue and Me unit that I've bought works. Means taking the seats out, taking that back panel off again to fit it, or to at least even to plug it in to test it, to see if it works. But you know, so be it. I thought if I get it for this car, if I put it in this car, I've got to spend another £40 or something on the module to operate the steering wheel buttons. You know, you got a car with a stereo with steering wheel buttons, and you can't not have the steering wheel buttons working. So that's another 40 quid on top. So for the time being, well, not for the time being, if it works, then I'll be using putting the Blue and Me unit in and reverting it back to factory standard. So hopefully it will work, but that stereo won't go to waste when I get myself a nice pop. Pops obviously don't have any Bluetooth or iPod, iPhone connectivity, etc. Using your phone with that Pioneer stereo, it turns your phone into your stereo basically, and you can use all your apps on your phone. Works on Android or on Apple. I think I've told you all this before anyway, but I thought to put that in a pop will be much better. So that's what I'm going to do. as I say, providing that Blue and Me unit works. So I'm going to end for the time being. There's a couple of little bits of video to go on the end of this, which I did the other day. I'm just putting them around the other way for no reason, but I've done a little bit of Copart. I recorded it the other day, as I said. It's at the beginning of this video, you would have seen some bit of Copart stuff. That was today. So it's a little bit out of order, this video. So hopefully it will make sense when it's all put together. And then, as I say, the ones that's following this now will be recorded a few days ago when I cleaned the seats and that. So yeah, as I was saying, we haven't got much apart from putting this Blue and Me unit in. There's not that much else left to do, apart from the roof and sorting out that paintwork on the back bumper and that little bit of not a ding as such, but I don't know what it is exactly, a bit of a scabby bit on the rear near side quarter. They're the only real bits I've got left to do. Then it can be MOT'd. I'm still waiting for the old bath to come back. That's I was hoping to get it back this week, but I can't see it myself. But my paint is really good, really cheap, but he's not the fastest in the world, unfortunately. He did say that I might get it back this week, but I thought that was being a bit optimistic. So hopefully I might get it back next week. But you never know. It's only, what's today? It's Thursday. I've lost track of the days this week. It's Thursday today, so yeah, I'm not going to get it back today or tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully next week, then we'll attack the bumper on that. But anyway, we're talking about the Sport at the moment, so forget the old bath. So yeah, virtually done. Just a few bits to do, and then this one will be ready to go to the paint shop as well. I'm going to have to get that roof painted. I tried filling it in a little bit with paint, with a cotton bud, but it just looks shit. So I want to get it done properly, because it's a nice car, this one. I bought some paint to do the wheels myself. I'm gonna have a go at that, so I'll use that as part of the content for this video. I bought proper paint, so I'm gonna take each wheel off individually, give it a bit of a rub down, good clean, give it a paint, see what it looks like. I'll do one, see what it looks like. If I ruin it, then I'll get a new wheel, but no, I won't ruin it. I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, so that's where we are. So following this is some more video from the other day. Morning again. It's another day. Sun's out today, and so I've decided to clean the seats of the Sport. So I'm just boiling the kettle, mixing up the cleaning fluid, and then we're going to start on these seats. They're not really that dirty. In fact, they're not very dirty at all, and there's probably even unnecessary doing it. But I think the car's been smoked in, although it doesn't smell very smoky. They're a little bit dirty. They're not very, but I tend to do them all the cars anyway, so just freshens everything up. I don't tend to do the carpets unless they're particularly dirty, but yeah, always do the seats. I could have done the back seats when they're out, but I didn't, so never mind. I'll do them in the car. That's the inside cleaned. As you can see, the overspray just makes the car dirty. You can't avoid it. Obviously we've got the leather top bits, or plastic, fake leather, whatever they are, on these, so there's less material to clean. But once it's all dried off, and then we'll clean the inside and use that what is it I use, the elbow grease I use to clean all that off, and then we'll clean the inside of it. It smells quite fresh already, but I've left the windows open. I'm going to shut them when I clean the car because it's rotten at the moment. It's got all, I don't know what it is, lots of dust, pollen, whatever it is. Horrible. So I'm going to have some lunch and then I'm going to shut the windows and give it a good wash. And then we'll probably next week, once it's had a proper dry out, and then we can have a go at this roof. Still don't know what I'm going to do about it. Whether I'm going to attempt anything myself. Don't know. But we'll get it all clean anyway. So I think for the time being we'll end this video. So this was from yesterday and today. As you know, there's still a few little bits I've got to do. I've got to sort that paintwork out on the back there. I've got to either try and machine polish that or paint it, one or the other. And then we've got this to sort out as well, which we'll do. So we can't. There's no evidence here of any. They've made a good job of it. There's no evidence of any repair. Obviously, where those welds were that caused the fire. Still a bit worrying though. But anyway, that's bridge. Water under the bridge, so we won't worry about that for the time being. We're still waiting for the stereo to come. It hasn't arrived yet. The post is a bit of a pain at the moment, but as soon as that comes we'll get that in, so that's probably going to be next week, I expect. So that's it for now. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time to watch it and listening to me waffling on. Please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in a few days time.